Hey everyone, for this week's lesson, I wanted to do something a little different. I actually want to talk a little bit about something I've been using lately to improve my on-court double strategy. So I'm going to go over some questions with you that I've been asking myself in between points, in between games, to progressively improve my strategy during the match. So I'm not talking about before the match or after the match, kind of reflecting. I'm talking about within a single match, reflecting on each point, reflecting on each game, and improving your strategy and making adjustments, kind of like a chess game during the match. So I'm going to share with you a process or kind of three-step formula that I've been using between points to do that. And I've actually used this to win the second set in 5 matches recently after losing the first set. So I lose the first set. I use this process, make adjustments, and it's helped me to win the second set 5 times in the past several months. So I'm hoping that it can help you too. And I want to start the conversation. I want to hear from you. What do you do during a match to improve your strategy? And maybe I can add to this. But I'll share with you the 3 steps right now. So the first step is really about self-awareness. It's noticing trends on poorly played points. So what I mean by a poorly played point is there's a question that I like to ask myself, if I played that point over 10 times, how many would I win? Now, a poorly played point means you would only win 4 or less of those, right? So if the opponent ends up with an overhead and they miss, I won the point, but it was probably a poorly played point because they're not going to miss that many overheads. So what you want to do is you want to notice trends that are happening on those poorly played points. So that's step one. So a couple questions that I like to use and ask myself in between each point is what happened? How did we lose the point? Where did I finish the point, and where did my opponent finish the point? So was it at the net, at the baseline, things like that? An example might be recently I played a doubles match, and the other team was getting to the net and forcing a lot of errors by my partner and I, or just hitting winners, right? So that's something I had to kind of step back each point, notice, okay, that's 3 of the last 4 points they've won with a volley, forcing an error, hitting a winner. So again, this is a lot about self-awareness, but if you can get that self-awareness aspect and kind of stay calm and even keel and ask yourself these questions between points, it can help you notice some of these trends. So the second step is figuring out how to attack the weakness of the trend that you're seeing or prevent it from happening at all. So a couple of questions I like to use to figure this out is how can I take advantage of the position they're putting themselves in when they do it on the next point? So again, if the team's crowding the net, maybe they're hitting a lot of forehand volleys for winners and forcing errors off that. So what I need to figure out is how do I get it to their backhand volley? More specifically, the weaker player's backhand volley. So that might be a question I ask myself. Another example is where can I hit the ball to stop the trend? So if they are crowding the net, how are they getting to the net? What's happening before they actually get to the net? Am I not placing the ball deep enough? Are they serving and volleying and they're able to they're getting a clean high volley? Should I step in on the return and take away some of that time? Things like that. So again, where can you hit the ball earlier in the point to stop the trend that's happening? So those are a few examples of that. And then the third step is simple enough. Just do it. Do the thing that you think is going to stop the trend. Do the thing that you think is going to attack the weakness of the position that they're getting in. So I keep using this example because it happened recently to me, but I played against a team that was serving and volleying and crowding the net really well. And one player was left-handed, one player was right-handed. And I noticed this starting to happen. We ended up losing the first set because they were just crowding the net and hitting winners and forcing errors. And what I did is I stepped back and said, okay, before every single point, I'm going to figure out where the backhand volleys are. And for me, it was in the middle of the court because one of them was a lefty. And then for my partner, it was on the outside. So I talked with my partner and we figured it out and said, once they get to the net, I'm hitting every ball to the middle of the court. My partner's hitting every ball to the outside of the court, to the backhand volleys. And we were able to come back and win that second set. So making adjustments like that and just executing them is really the third step to this process. So when you do this, you're forcing the other team to make the next play. So, in that example, we lost the first set, we made the adjustment, won the second set, and then it's up to them to make the play in the third set and make an adjustment. And the faster you can notice these trends, the faster you can come up with a solution to fix these trends when you are losing, the better off you'll be at doubles, the better strategy you'll be able to come up with in the match. So I want to hear from you. What do you ask yourself during matches between points to improve your strategy throughout the match? If you have any thoughts, any questions you ask yourself, comment below if you're watching this on YouTube, Facebook, wherever, or reply to the email if you got this through an email, and let me know. I would love to hear from you and add it to one of my future lessons.